So good day everyone. After discussing formatting email and text messages, we will now move on to formatting memo and letter. Again, when we say formatting, we are referring to the organization of contents, parts, and information within a brief correspondence, specifically in this case, the memo and the letter. So let's start with the memo. And of course, to be able to know the right formatting of the memorandum or the memo, we should first learn about the parts of the memorandum. So number one, the first part of a memorandum is the heading, wherein uh, it is composed of all the materials above the first line of the body, comprise of the heading. These are the file reference of the office symbol, addressee, to whom the letter is being sent, channel through which the letter will pass, addressor, subject, and date. So we will break down and discuss each part of it. So the heading is the upper part of the memorandum. Everything in the upper part of the memorandum above the first line of the body is and will be considered the heading. So what are the parts of the heading? Number one, letterhead. This can be found in the uppermost part of a memorandum and could also be, and this is also where we can find a logo. Let me try to draw it. Okay, in the letterhead we can also find the logo in this part, both left and right. So that is the what we call letterhead. And information that we can found in this part is the office where the memorandum came from, or where it is executed, its address and number, sometimes telephone number or official number, cellular. Okay. After that, we have the file reference or the office symbol. It is placed at the left margin, usually 2 spaces below the letterhead. Each part of the reference has a meaning. File reference are also used as identifying information on the second and subsequent pages. Okay, file reference can be found in the left upper part of a memorandum, and it is usually written as like this, no, in this example, NFSTI admin. Okay, so I have already told you that stations, or specifically PNP stations, have different kinds of sections wherein they totally contribute to the goal or the mission of the PNP. So we have the admin section, investigation section, um, custodial section, operations, and such. So the particular section where the memorandum is being executed will be enumerated in this part of the memorandum, which is the file reference or office symbol. So what does the NFSTI admin stands for? So the admin, as we said, no, it is the section of the office. Now, what is the NFSTI? So we would go back to the letterhead where you can see the National Forensic Science Training Institute, where the office, specific office where the memorandum came from, is only abbreviated. Its abbreviation is written in the file reference. Specifically, it's admin. Okay, after that, we have the addressee. The title of the addressee is entered after the memorandum 4 if sent to a superior office, and memorandum 2 if sent to subordinates. Okay, important information about the addressee. It is the receiver, and we use a different word if we are composing a memorandum addressed to the superior office or the offices of our seniors, and we use also a different word to address memorandums executed for our subordinates. Okay? Memorandum 4, the word for is used for superior office, any offices or individual that has a higher rank. And memorandum 2 is sent to subordinates. Okay? It should be written in block style with open punctuation and normally placed 2 spaces after the file reference. Okay, this is an example of a addressee. So addressee is somewhere or someone you would be sending the memorandum. Okay, we use, as you can see in this example, we use for, therefore indicating that this office is a superior office than where the memorandum was executed. After the addressee, we have the addressor. The title of the addressor is the sender is entered after the from. Authorized abbreviations are used. Okay, from. Bakit kailangan ilagay na authorized abbreviations? So, in different offices, as I told you, there are local policies wherein the superior office or the head of the office has its own preference when it comes to the format. So if it is authorized for you to use abbreviations, then you can use abbreviation. But unless otherwise, abbreviations are not automatically permitted. Okay? So, maikling sa maikling tanungan, what does the IAS stands for? Okay? Para malaman ko kung talaga bang alam nyo ang abbreviation nito, please comment the answer. What does IAS stands for? Okay? As you can see, the memorandum was from the Assistant Director of IAS. So what does IAS stands for? Kindly answer the question in the comment section. So after the addressor, we have the channels. Correspondence can be routed through channels. Though a lower chief or supervisor expected to exercise control, taken or to be concerned and normally place 2 spaces after the addressee. Okay. Memorandums can be executed in a particular channel or through an office. Okay. Examples are the following: through TDCA, TDCO, TCDS. If you can find this in a memorandum, mostly or sometimes the abbreviation is only the one used, not the title, but this is the definition or the acronym of the following abbreviations. TDCA stands for the Deputy Chief for Administration. TDCO is the Deputy Chief for Operations. TCDS, the Deputy Chief for Directorial Staff. Okay, that means the memorandum would go through their offices, or primarily be distributed from their offices. Okay, after the channels, we have the attention address. To speed routing, correspondence may be addressed to the attention of an individual or head of subdivision of an agency or an office, either by reference to the name of the subdivision or by use of an office symbol. The name will be used only when there is a special reason for calling the letter to the attention of the individual known to handle the type of correspondence concerned, and when it is known that he or she will at the place addressed. Examples addressed to the attention of an individual. Memorandum 2. So that is the addressee. Regional Director PRO Calabarzon, Camp Vicente Lim, Canlubang, Laguna. Attention, Police Captain 1B de la Cruz. Again, the attention address is not commonly used but is used to emphasize the personnel who will be handling the memorandum. Okay? Or if the memorandum has instructions and it will be supervised or headed by someone, their name will be emphasized in the attention address part of the memorandum. Okay? To put it simply, kapag ang memorandum po may instruction na nakalagay, no, at ang instruction na to is particular within the head or the director of a office, ang pangalan nila mismo ay ilalagay doon sa attention address na part ng memorandum para i-emphasize na they should be the one handling and supervising the implementation of that instruction within the memorandum. After the attention address, we have the subject. The subject line should contain not exceeding 10 words. It starts 2 spaces below the addressor. Title capitalization rules may be used. This means capital letters for the first letter and other important words, and small letters for the unimportant words. When the subject extends to 2 lines, the second line is blocked under the first letter of the first word in the subject. Okay. Dito sa subject line, as we discussed before, no, it should be concise, it should be clear, and it should be specific. Okay? And the capitalization rule can be used wherein kapag nagsusulat po tayo ng title, we capitalize the first letter for the important words, and small letters, we maintain small letters for the unimportant words, such as for, of, and yung mga ganyang klaseng words. We do not, it is not necessary to capitalize the first letter of those words. Now, in the subject line, if, another thing to remember, should not contain not exceeding 10 words. And if ang subject line, it reaches 2 lines. If the subject line, it reaches 2 lines, the second line is blocked under the first letter. It means pantay po siya dun sa unang word or sa unang letter ng first word sa title or sa subject line rather. Okay? Ito. It should be aligned. Okay. After the subject, we have the date. This refers to the date or signature, and it is placed at the left portion of the page on the last line below the subject. The day and the year are numerals, and the month may be shortened to. Okay, yung shortcut ng month. February, pwedeng Feb na lang. January, pwedeng Jan na lang. Okay, so date, napakadaling intindihin. Date, syempre, date when the memorandum was executed. Okay, there are different format of writing the date. As you can see in your notes, no, this one, the month, day, and year is what we call the traditional style. Okay, so in international style, the arrangement would be day muna, followed by the month, and then finally the year. Okay, so if this example would be written in the international style of the date, it would be written as 15 March. Yes, mahirap magsulat gamit ang mouse. And finally 2008. Okay. Next. So all of those, no, beginning with the letterhead up to the date are all the parts of the heading of a memorandum. Okay, those are the specific parts, and overall they are called the heading. So the second part would be the body. It is the part of the letter that is the message itself. It is the substance of the type as distinct from the formal beginning and ending. This part of the letter is single-spaced. The use of the third person, such as the undersigned, this unit, or this office, prescribed to achieve objectivity. So again, as I mentioned before, no, reports are written with a third person point of view. so as memorandum to achieve objectivity, to avoid focusing on the person or the people, but rather aiming to focus on the action, we would use third person point of view. Okay, same as the heading, the body will be composed of different parts also. Number one, or the first part, is the paragraphing. When a letter consists of only one paragraph, the paragraph will not be numbered, although its subparagraph will be lettered. If there are two or more, when there are two or more paragraphs, they will be numbered consecutively. Consecutively means simply numbers in order. 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. The second succeeding line will begin at the left margin. Okay. Ang sinasabi po dito, in paragraphing, the first line in the first paragraph can be or should be indented, while the second paragraph would be start in the left margin, meaning there is no indentation needed. Okay? Kapag isa lang daw po ang paragraph at meron tong mga information, additional information, the additional information, okay, or the subparagraphs will be lettered. Okay, letter ang gagamitin. Okay, when it comes to abbreviations in the body, this kind of communication allows abbreviation which are generally accepted in police service. They are usually written without spacing or periods, except geographical locations can be written with or without periods. If the full name is used, the abbreviated rank is permissible. If the family name only, the rank is spelled out. Okay. So kung gagamitin ng buong pangalan when addressing someone in the body of the memorandum, we should use the abbreviated rank. But if we will be using only the family name, apelido, the rank should be spelled out. Okay? Next, references. Okay, references to publications must be specifically and fully identified. References will not be made to a publication or document which is not available to the addressees of the correspondence. Reference to correspondence will include the type of correspondence, file reference, office origin, date, and subject. Okay. So, reference, as I told you before, memorandums are made in accordance with past memorandums, SOPs, laws, or proclamations. No? There is a basis on the creation of the memorandum. Therefore, those bases or those sources will be written in the reference. Okay? Example, this memo referenced, use the reference of the memo from the director of the NFSTI dated August 2, 2007. And ito yung pagbabago naman na ginagawa, or either pagbabago, update dun sa memo na yun, no, or implementation regarding with the memo na nakalagay dyan sa reference. Okay? And it is stated here that there is no need to put the reference if the office that you will be sending it to does not have access to the particular reference that you will be using. Okay? So, it will be nonsense. Kasi if you put the reference but yet you do not have a copy of that particular memo or reference either, it would not make sense because you will not be able to verify or confirm the reference, no, the action in the memo, subscribe in the reference. After the references, we have the page numbering. The page numbering should not, the first page should not be numbered. Okay, also called as silent pagination. Subsequent pages or the following pages after the first pages will be numbered na consecutively. Beginning with the second page is number 2. Page number will be centered 1 inch from the bottom of the page the number will stand by itself. It will not be set off by dashes, parentheses, or other punctuation. So wala nang kaarte-arte. Starting with the second page. First page is left blank, walang number, and second page will begin at 2, and the follow will be numbered consecutively. Again, it is centered and 1 inch from the bottom of the page. Another one is the complementary ending. Like in business letter, there is also a closing portion in this type of communication. This refers to the material found below the last paragraph of the body. It consists of the authority line, if used, signature, list of enclosure, and list of copies. So authority line, sometimes it's not used. No? It is optional in this part of the memorandum. So authority line is as follows. An authority line will be shown when the correspondence is signed for the chief of head of office by an individual authorized to do so. This reflects that the fact that the communication is an expression of the will of the chief or head of the office. The authority line will begin on the second line below the last paragraph, directly under the first letter of the first word of the preceding main paragraph. It is typed in capital letters without abbreviation. Note: a staff officer may sign under the authority line only when authorized to do so. So it is not a general knowledge or general action for a staff officer to sign under the authority line unless it is authorized to do so. Okay, the authority line provides the information if the order or the correspondence came from the chief or head of the office and is only written and provided by someone below him, like the deputy and such. Okay. Next, after the authority line, we have this signature. Okay, the signature contains the name of the officer signed in ink, black or blue black, never blue or any other color. The name being typed, stamped, or printed in capital letters identical with the written name. The officer's rank or service and title or designation. Example: Paul C. De La Cruz, PhD, Police Colonel, Director, NFSTI. So again, subtle changes can be done according to the local policies or their local format. In this case, in our example, the PhD, the title is used by the police colonel. So, it varies talaga. After again, another information about the signature. Sometimes signature is signed or provided by another person besides the one who is being addressed. Okay, it is only this kind of situation is only permitted if authorized to do so by the head. Okay, sometimes we create memorandum na addressed to the head of an office, of a particular office. However, because of their duty, time of their duty, sometimes they might be off duty, and the letter or the memorandum in this case can be permitted to be signed by the deputy, if authorized to do so nga po ulit. And then, ayan po, pipirma na siya for the, ayan, ito pala, kapag ka ang letter is addressed to someone subordinate at wala doon, in this case, the deputy, tapos si director ang pipirma, pwede niya po yung gawin. Okay? Kapag naman, ang head ang wala at deputy lang ang nandyan, kailangan ng permiso. Kailangan ng authorization. Ayan, 5 lines below the authority line of the body. Block style and open punctuation are used. Open punctuation means wala pong comma sa dulo. Jose Santos comma or Police Major comma. Walang comma pag open punctuation. is placed directly under the first letter. Okay, after the signature, enclosures. Enclosures are supplementary documents which are sent with the communications to provide additional information. When a letter has one or more enclosure, this fact is entered at the left side of the page. Example, ayan po, inclusions. This is the same with the nature of the attachments when it comes to emails and text messages. Okay, enclosures. Okay, memo from. This is sent along with the memorandum itself. No? Binigay mo yung memorandum and then may kasamang iba pang memorandum at it is written in the main memorandum na isi-send mo at nakasulat doon sa enclosures na part. Enumerated sila dyan. So this is an example of a memorandum. As you can see, we have the letterhead in this part. Letterhead. No? Again, sabi nga po natin, everything above the first line of the body will be and is called the heading. Yeah, mahirap po talaga magsulat sa mouse. Heading. Okay, we have the letterhead, no? Most of the time, at it is practiced that we put logos in the right and left side of this letterhead, and we have the office symbol, NCPO Invest, no? In this case, yung Invest investigation section yan. NCPO means Naga City Police. Nakalimutan ko yung O. Okay. So, it is the addressee for, ibig sabihin, it is a higher, senior office. Through, we have a channel, no, through the chief of operations section. From the addressor, the sender. Subject, as you can see, it is only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, no? 5 words. But this is only an example, so hindi kompleto yan. And we have the body. Look at the body. We have, it is, the paragraphing is followed. It is separated. And you have to, the first part is the reference, of course, and the second part is the, ito na yung part ng body. As you can see, in the third part, nagkaroon pa siya ng sub-paragraphs, no? Wherein, it is lettered. Okay? Ano pa ba? This is the signature area. Ito na po. And then, of course, enclosures. Okay, that would be the explanation sa memorandum. Let's go to the letters. Formatting letters. Okay. Shoutout kay Ma'am Lizelle Paguyo para sa pag-compile din ng ano na to, notes na to. Okay. So first we have the inside address. Complete address of the sender as return address, personal business letter. A letterhead includes the company name, logo, address, and other optional information such as telephone and fax number. We also have the date line, the date when the letter was written. Okay? And here we have an example of it. So, this is the inside address. Now, from here, yan, ito pong may arrow na to na dinuruwingan ko. At, of course, common sense, ito ang ating data line. Next, we have the letter address. For professional, we can use a letter address, no, in addressing professionals, such as professional titles, such as doctor, reverend, captain, and also we have courtesy titles, such as Mr., Miss, or Mrs. Okay. Correct name, first name, first initial, and last name. Okay. So we can write the letter in the letter address. Pwedeng first name buo or first name initial lang. Tapos last name. Title, address of the person whom you are writing, no abbreviation sa address. And ang ilalagay nyo po dito sa address is the name that you will also be used in the salutation, using the salutation. Okay, again, this is the titles, no, to use for professional, ano natin, tawag dito, addressee natin, and courtesy title naman po. So here we have an example. So we use here is the courtesy title. Rhea Tancard, the manager, Maloy's Manufacturing. The address of the business or the address of the addressee, addressor rather. Ay, okay, baliktad. So, addressee, kung sino yung sisendan, and then dito sa una, sa kung sino yung sender. Baliktad siya when it comes to memo. Okay, as you can see, dito sa letter address, no, this is the name that we put in the courtesy title, and it is the same with what we use in the salutation part. Dear Miss Tancard. Again, as I have told you, no, in this case, letter are mostly addressed to external audiences, no, if that audience or that particular reader would be having have a relationship or communication with you using a friendly tone, then you can use dear. But ngayon, no, we address our formal we address our formal salutation by good day, good afternoon, good morning. Okay, such as those following kinds of salutation. Okay. Ayan, no. Subject line sa letter, optional na to, no? And it focuses on the topic of the letter. Again, same with the memo and other brief correspondence. So the body, usually 2 or 5 paragraphs long, but can be several pages. Use headings similar to reports. The letter should look balanced on the page. We are referring here sa indentation. The body of most letters is single space with a double space, one blank line between paragraphs. Organization depends on the type of the letter you are writing. In block letter style, all lines begin at the left margin. Okay? Ito yung mga style ng letters, no? Pag block letter style, lahat nag-start sa left margin. Ito, katulad nitong nandito nakikita ninyo na pantay-pantay ang kanilang indentation, no? Let's say this is a whole bond paper and they all started in the left margin. So block letter style po yan. In modified block letter style, all lines generally begin with the left margin except no, kapag ka modified block letter style, ang date po and closing line which begin at the center of the page. Dito part ang date, no? Diyan nakalagay ang date, tapos yung closing line dito rin nakatapat. Center part ng page. No? Hindi yan, yes, hindi siya symmetrical tingnan, but it looks professional pa rin po. And it is practiced and used. Wala ang pindot ko. So, here is an example of the body. So, subject line, again, optional. And focus on the topic. Here is the syempre, wala yung message. Example lang naman yan. So, XXX yan. No? The paragraphs, again, they are all left. They all started in the left margin, as you can see. Okay. Kunyari, pantay yung linya. Next, we have the closing. Friendly but business-like ending. Common closing includes sincerely and cordially. Yan pa pala yung hindi ko nagamit. Etong yours truly, no, before kasi sometimes considered to as a formal closing, no. However, now it is not mostly used kasi it is interpreted more of a informal tone, no, not a business-like one. So we use again sincerely, respectfully, or cordially. Cordially. Signature line, key name entitled with space and handwritten signature above. Reference initial. Itong part na to is an ancient part of the letter, but still you should know this. No? Initials in uppercase of the person who dictated the letter. So dati po kasi no, kapag gumagawa ng letter ang mga head ng opisina, they dictate the letter and it said someone keyed it, lalo na kung typewriting. silang nagta-type, no? Nilalagay naman sa reference initial yung initials ng taong nag-dictate using uppercase letters, and yung mga nag-type or kung sino yung nag-type in lowercase letter. Yes. At yung dalawa na yun, pwedeng yung pinaghihiwala yung initials nung nag-dictate at nung nagsulat using a slash, either a slash or colon. Okay, minsan ang nilalagay na lang nung lately ang nilalagay na lang is the initials of the one who keyed the letter. But now in our times, this part is not that mandatory or required na po. So we also have enclosure notations. So same with the memo, we can put enclosures along with the letter. Additional documents in the envelope mo indicates additional documents. Often the word enclosure is followed by a colon and the titles of the enclosed documents are listed. And copy notation, ito pa, isang part pa to na ancient na pagsusulat, letter, na formal letters. Copy notations, nilalagay rin po dyan kung sino pa yung nakatanggap ng kopya ng letter na yan. So here is our example with that. This is our closing, and sabi ko nga sa inyo, hindi na to formal, sincerely yours. And we have the signature line here, WB Jefferson, and the position. And ito po yung sinasabi ko sa inyong reference initial. No? As you can see, the one who dictated the message or the message in the letter is WB Jefferson, which is initialed as WBJ. And then the one who wrote or keyed the letter is PJM. Of course, we do not have a single idea what that stands for, but someone who has initials of PJM wrote or typed the letter. And as we can see here, we have 3 enclosures. Okay, again, if the enclosures has titles, no, sinusulat po yung titles diyan. Okay, so along with the letter, meron pong 3 documents na kasama. And copy notation, ibig sabihin, the letter a copy of the letter is also sent to Sofia Arellano and J. Riardon. So we have those part of the letter. Okay, yan po ulit ang ating letter. No? As you can see, medyo pinapayat dito sa part na to, pero letter din po yan. No? Pinapayat lang para malagay yung explanation dito. So that would be all. Again, this video will be coming along with a quiz, followed by the quiz, and comply accordingly.
So, ayun po. Good day, everyone.